The extinction event, the vast emptiness of space, had always called to humanity. For centuries, we had looked up at the stars with wonder, dreaming of what might be waiting beyond our solar system. When we finally developed the technology to answer that call, we went forth not as conquerors, but as explorers and diplomats, eager to find our place in the cosmos. The colony of Horizon represented the pinnacle of human achievement, a thriving settlement of 2 million souls on a verdant world 30 light years from Earth. Scientists, engineers, farmers, teachers, and children, all working together to build something beautiful on the frontier of human expansion. Horizon was to be the first of many, a stepping stone to humanity's future among the stars. First contact came unexpectedly. Long-range sensors detected the approaching vessels 3 months before they arrived in orbit around Horizon. The colony erupted in excitement and apprehension. After decades of searching, humanity would finally meet another intelligent species. Admiral Helena Chen, commanding the UES Intrepid, Earth's most advanced diplomatic vessel, was dispatched immediately. "This is our moment," she told her crew as they prepared to depart. "Remember your training. We represent not just Earth, but all of humanity's potential." The aliens called themselves the Vorax, bipedal and reptilian, with iridescent scales and eyes that gleamed with intelligence. They communicated through a series of clicks and whistles that Earth's AI translators quickly deciphered. Initial exchanges seemed promising. The Vorax expressed curiosity about human culture and technology. They shared stories of their own civilization, ancient and sprawling across a dozen star systems. They seem receptive to diplomatic relations, Dr. Marcus Way, the mission's chief xenolinguist, reported. But there's something guarded in their responses when we ask about other species they've encountered. For 3 weeks, negotiations proceeded cautiously. Trade agreements were drafted. Cultural exchanges were planned. The people of Horizon prepared a celebration to welcome their new galactic neighbors. Children created artwork depicting humans and Vorax standing together beneath alien stars. No one saw what was coming. The attack began at dawn, Horizon local time. Without warning or provocation, the Vorax fleet opened fire. Not on military targets, there were none to speak of, but on the colony's most densely populated areas. Massive energy weapons rained destruction from orbit, vaporizing entire city blocks in seconds. They're targeting civilian centers. Admiral Chen shouted as the Intrepid sensors registered the assault. "Launch all defensive measures and get me a direct line to Earth now." The Intrepid, designed for diplomacy rather than warfare, was hopelessly outgunned. The ship managed to deploy its defensive screen long enough to broadcast an emergency transmission back to Earth before a Vorax battlecruiser split it in half with a particle beam. On Horizon's surface, panic gave way to horror as the colony's limited defenses collapsed within minutes. Governor Sabina Okafor broadcast a final message as the administrative center burned around her. "This is Horizon calling Earth. We are under massive attack by the Vorax fleet. Our defenses have failed. They're killing everyone. I repeat, they are killing everyone. This is genocide. Earth must." The transmission ended abruptly. Within 12 hours, it was over. Horizon, humanity's proudest achievement beyond the solar system, was reduced to ash and radiation. 2 million lives, men, women, and children, erased in less than a day. The Vorax ships lingered only long enough to confirm that nothing remained alive before departing as suddenly as they had attacked. Back on Earth, the emergency transmission from the Intrepid arrived 18 hours after the genocide began. In the UN Security Council chamber in New York, representatives from every nation watched in stunned silence as fragmented footage of the attack played on the central display. "My God," whispered Secretary General Amara Osai, her voice barely audible. "They weren't even at war with us. There was no declaration, no demands. They just slaughtered them all." The room remained silent for several moments after the footage ended. Then General Hiroshi Tanaka, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, stood. Madam Secretary General, I request immediate authorization to initiate Defense Protocol Omega. Every military asset we have must be mobilized. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier. For what purpose, General? Asked the Russian representative. Horizon is 30 light-years away. By the time we could reach it. Not to defend, Tanaka interrupted, his voice like steel. To hunt. To find whoever did this, and make them pay. Secretary General Osei closed her eyes briefly before responding. I never thought I would give this order. But humanity has been attacked without provocation. An entire colony, our people, has been eradicated. She opened her eyes, and everyone in the room could see the cold fury within them. General Tanaka, you have your authorization. God help us all. The transformation of humanity from peaceful explorers to vengeful warriors happened with breathtaking speed. Ancient rivalries and political differences were set aside as Earth united with a single purpose: retribution. The shipyards of Earth orbit and Mars, once dedicated to civilian vessels and scientific exploration, now produced warships. The UES Nemesis, Earth's first true battleship, was commissioned within 6 months, followed by an entire fleet of destroyers and carriers. Scientists who had once dedicated their lives to curing diseases now worked tirelessly to develop more efficient weapons and stronger defenses. We're abandoning everything we stand for, warned Dr. Eliza Harper during a closed Security Council meeting. Our commitment to peace, to diplomacy. They killed 2 million of our people without warning or reason, countered Admiral James Rodriguez. What would you have us do? Send another diplomatic mission for them to slaughter? Dr. Harper had no answer. Operation Nemesis took shape over the following year. Earth's best minds developed new propulsion systems that could carry the fleet to Horizon in weeks rather than years. Weapons were tested and refined. Soldiers and pilots trained relentlessly for combat against an enemy they had only glimpsed. Admiral Mikhail Volkov, a veteran of the East African conflict and now commander of the Retribution fleet, addressed his officers the night before departure. What we are about to undertake is not just a military operation. It is a statement. Humanity will not be slaughtered without consequence. We do not seek conquest. We do not desire an empire. But after tomorrow, the name of Earth will be spoken with respect, or terror, throughout the galaxy. As the massive fleet prepared to depart Earth orbit, ceremony gave way to grim determination. There would be no cheering crowds, no patriotic speeches. This was not a moment for celebration, but for resolve. The Retribution fleet comprised over 200 vessels, from the massive UES Nemesis to agile scout ships and everything in between. At its heart was a weapon developed in secret after the fall of Horizon, the quantum disruptor, capable of tearing apart matter at the subatomic level. We're ready, sir, reported Commander Sophia Lin as the fleet achieved formation. Admiral Volkov nodded, his eyes fixed on the main display showing the coordinates where Horizon had once flourished. For the 2 million, he said quietly. Then, louder, all ships, prepare for transit. Operation Nemesis is now active. In a flash of artificial singularities, humanity's vengeance force vanished from Earth orbit, bound for the stars and the reckoning that awaited. The reckoning. The Vorax never saw them coming. Their outpost on the edge of what had once been Horizon's solar system was the first to fall. A small installation with minimal defenses, its purpose had been to monitor the aftermath of their cleansing operation. The Vorax commander was composing his routine report when sensors detected multiple transit signatures materializing around his station. Impossible, he chittered to his second-in-command. No species in this sector possesses such technology. Those were his last words before the UES Artemis, a stealth destroyer, fired 3 precision missiles that reduced the outpost to expanding debris. Confirm destruction, ordered Captain Nadine Chow from the Artemis bridge. Outpost neutralized, Captain, her tactical officer reported. No distress signal detected. Clean kill. Admiral Volkov received the confirmation aboard the Nemesis. Well done, Artemis. Proceed to Phase 2. The human fleet moved through Vorax space like ghosts, striking military installations and shipyards before vanishing again. Earth intelligence, painstakingly gathered from the fragments of data recovered near Horizon, had mapped the Vorax communication network. One by one, those nodes were systematically destroyed, isolating Vorax worlds from each other. 3 weeks into the campaign, the fleet intercepted a Vorax battle group near a gas giant's moon. 7 warships, each larger than anything humanity had fielded before the fall of Horizon. "They're hailing us," reported Lieutenant Commander Jackson. "First direct communication since we entered their territory." Admiral Volkov straightened his uniform. On screen, the Vorax commander appeared, his scales shimmering with rage or fear. Human experts were still learning to read their expressions. "Identify yourselves," he demanded through the translation system. "You attack Imperial territory without provocation." The bridge of the Nemesis fell silent. Volkov stepped forward, his face carved from stone. "Without provocation," he repeated quietly. "I am Admiral Mikhail Volkov of Earth. You slaughtered our colony of Horizon. 2 million civilians. Children." The Vorax commander's inner eyelids flickered rapidly. Horizon. That was a cleansing operation. The site was contaminated with potential technological heresy. Technological heresy. Volkov's voice remained dangerously calm. "You butchered 2 million people because you disapproved of our technology. It is the way of the Imperium," the Vorax stated flatly. "Inferior or dangerous technologies must be excised. It is nothing personal. Many species have fallen to necessary cleansing." On the bridge of the Nemesis, understanding dawned like a cold sun. The Vorax hadn't attacked humanity out of fear or hatred. They had exterminated Horizon as casually as one might clear weeds from a garden. "All ships," Volkov ordered, cutting the communication. "Weapons free. No survivors." The battle lasted less than 20 minutes. The Vorax vessels were powerful but unprepared for the ferocity and precision of the human assault. Quantum disruptors tore through their shields. Tactical fighters swarmed like angry hornets, targeting propulsion systems and weapons arrays. As the last Vorax ship broke apart, Commander Lin approached Admiral Volkov. "Sir, we've captured their central database. Intelligence is already working on decryption." The information harvested from the Vorax fleet revealed a civilization built on the systematic elimination of technological heretics. For millennia, the Vorax Imperium had encountered other spacefaring species and judged them. Those whose technology followed acceptable paths were subjugated. Those who developed along dangerous tangents, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, genetic modification, were eliminated without mercy. Dozens of civilizations had been extinguished, their worlds sterilized, their people forgotten. Humanity had been deemed a Class 1 contamination due to our integration of AI systems and our experiments with genetic therapies. The elimination of Horizon had been merely the first step in what the Vorax had planned as the complete cleansing of human presence in the galaxy. "They were coming for Earth next," Dr. Wei reported during the fleet-wide briefing. According to their timetables, a cleansing fleet was already being assembled when we launched Operation Nemesis. Admiral Volkov's expression didn't change. "Then we've caught them at the perfect moment. Continue the operation as planned. Push toward their core worlds." The Retribution fleet advanced methodically, destroying Vorax military assets and crippling their infrastructure. Unlike the Vorax, however, humanity made a critical distinction. Civilian targets remained untouched. Transport vessels were allowed to evacuate. Colonies without military significance were bypassed. "We are not them," Volkov reminded his commanders when questions arose. "We're here for justice, not genocide." 3 months into the campaign, the fleet reached Vorax's prime, the homeworld of the Vorax Imperium. A massive defensive screen of battleships and orbital platforms surrounded the planet. The Vorax Supreme Commander broadcast a message to the approaching human vessels. "Humans of Earth, your resistance is unprecedented but futile. The Imperium has stood for 10,000 years. We have cleansed hundreds of worlds. Your extinction is inevitable. However, we acknowledge your martial prowess. Withdraw now, and we will grant your species a merciful end rather than the long suffering you now face." The response came not from Admiral Volkov, but from Secretary General Osai herself, transmitted from Earth. "We do not want your mercy. We did not begin this war. You murdered our people without warning or cause, and called it cleansing. Now you will face the consequences of your actions. However, unlike you, we offer a choice. Surrender your fleet and dismantle your weapons. Face justice for your crimes against us and countless other species. Do this and your civilians will be spared." The answer came in the form of a massive barrage from the Vorax defense fleet. The Battle of Voraxis Prime lasted 3 days. The space around the planet became a graveyard of broken ships, human and Vorax alike. The Nemesis took heavy damage, but continued to coordinate the assault. One by one, the orbital platforms fell. The defensive screen collapsed under the relentless human advance. On the 3rd day, with the planet defenseless below them, Admiral Volkov faced the most crucial decision of the campaign. Earth's quantum disruptors could reduce Voraxis Prime to molten rock with a single coordinated strike. The extinction of the Vorax was within his power. The bridge of the Nemesis was silent as Volkov considered his options. Finally, he opened a channel to the planet below. "This is Admiral Volkov to the Vorax leadership. Your defenses are destroyed. Your fleet is no more. We now have the capability to do to your world what you have done to so many others. But we will not." He paused, letting the words sink in. "Humanity does not eradicate species, even ones as deserving as yours. Instead, these are our terms. Your empire is disbanded. Your military technology will be confiscated. Representatives of your government will face trial for crimes against sentient beings. A human oversight force will remain in your system to ensure compliance. You have 1 hour to respond." 53 minutes later, the Vorax Supreme Council surrendered unconditionally. The aftermath of Operation Nemesis reshaped the galaxy. The dismantled Vorax Imperium revealed dozens of subjugated species and the remnants of many others that had been cleansed. Humanity, once just beginning its journey to the stars, suddenly found itself in the position of liberator and arbiter. On Earth, the celebration of victory soon gave way to somber reflection. They had won the war, but at what cost to their own ideals? The military-industrial complex that had grown to face the Vorax threat would not easily be dismantled. The weapons developed for vengeance remained, awaiting purpose. Admiral Volkov, addressing the UN General Assembly upon his return, spoke to these concerns. "We went to the stars as explorers and were forced to become warriors. Now we must find a middle path. The galaxy we have discovered is more dangerous and complex than we imagined, but also filled with potential allies and wonders. We cannot return to naive optimism, but neither can we allow ourselves to become what we fought against." In the decades that followed, humanity expanded cautiously into the stars once more. The colony of New Horizon was established as a memorial to those lost and a symbol of humanity's resilience. The Earth Defense Fleet remained vigilant, but committed to protection rather than conquest. And throughout the galaxy, a new understanding spread among spacefaring civilizations. Humans may come in peace, but woe to those who mistake their preference for diplomacy as weakness. For when provoked beyond endurance, humanity's vengeance is as terrible as it is just. The species known as the Vorax learned this lesson too late. Their empire, built on the extinction of others, now exists only in historical records, a cautionary tale of the monster they awakened when they brought death to Horizon.